Okie doke, we're in full on scramble mode here. And naturally we get a seed with a crappy hash. Ugh. Yeah, my personal schedule's all sorts of funky right now. Anyway, we got like 9 people in this race, a bunch of Germans plus Shin and Zax and Darity. So there we go. Got up way too darn late today. I mean, it wasn't that late by normal compare. Oh no, I guess it was. It was kind of a crash day. But it's even later now that we've got fake times going. Surely fake boots crosskeys will save the day. Oh, hello Ahab. Thank you so much for the sub. That's super kind, I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. I am barely awake. This is actually a bad idea, so... Warm weather, baseball. We're not quite in baseball weather. I mean, it actually no. It's fine, fine baseball weather here. Almost mid 60s, but there are still traces of snow on the ground, so that's a tad less than ideal. Oh, good. Well, we know what we're doing with one of these. Hello, Clara. Thank you for the good luck. Hope you're doing well. Like early spring, and then I know it's not actually spring right now, but in the early spring season I'll gladly take 64 degrees on a game day. Played in much worse. Oh, okay. I have yet to actually see any of the World Baseball Classic. I've been seeing the results and a couple highlights. It's like Shohei Ohtani hits the ball far. Like, that's pretty exciting. Oh, great. But I haven't seen terribly much else. Well, I saw that today they had, the group that Japan's in had the excitement of a 3-way playoff. And by 3-way playoff, I mean they decided it by runs ahead margin, which, you know, not great. That's fun. I don't like run margin as a tiebreaker. It rewards teams for running up the score. There's a lot of small keys. Are we playing like Kabuki drop or? Feels like there have been more extreme scores than in past years though. But I could be wrong. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I do like that they have a runs ahead rule, like in basically every youth sports thing. Pretty sure that would have been a bonk. Oh, it's, you know. I don't know that that's up by... Yeah, I don't know what their exact rule is. That's the bad, by the way. I just know that these games are... some of these games have ended with massively lopsided scores, and it's good that they ended, because I can't imagine that teams want to be burning pitchers in a 16-0 game in early March. Oh, that's right, they pitch counts. I mean, that's also smart. How many can we kill? Oh, almost all of them. Great. Big key to... okay. Yeah, could've been worse. Could've been better, but... could've been worse. Nice lamp. I was watching a game last night. That's cute. Mets and Dodgers from '91, before the Mets totally collapsed that year. When Sid Fernandez came back from he hadn't pitched at all that year. And they're like, yeah, just throw him out there for 100-something pitches, it's fine. The guy with the arm injury, just chuck him out there. He's usually good for that. It's like, well, yeah, but he's also usually pitched before July 19th. How young we were. I don't want to do that. Hotel Mario. Oh boy. Look at all this great stuff early. Oh, there goes the 20-heart dream, though. The Dodgers made a pretty funny error that it did cost them the game. Oh, good. Both fairy fountains. Ball right through Lenny Harris's legs, plated the go-ahead run, which, I mean, checks out, because he was an awful defender. And then when they threw the relay and they overthrew second, came to Juan Samuel at second base, who kicked it around, looked up, looked away, and then kicked the ball behind first base to plate another run. Like, that's some quality stuff right there. Can't say I love this Podge right now. Like, one more small key would be great. What other Dodgers game? I've had a lot of basketball on the last few days. But I had Dodgers somebody from 95. Dodgers Expos. That's not great. And it was funny to listen to them try to make Billy Ashley a thing. Dear God, Billy Ashley sucked. They summed it up nicely after his like third strikeout of the game. It's like he really struggles with off-speed pitches. Also, he struggles with fastballs. Like, it's probably not a good major league hitter you got on your hands here. And it turned out that that was accurate. What are you? All right. They moved blind set. Pod. Replacement bombs. I really dislike that pod small. I mean, I like it and I dislike it. That's not super helpful. Every damn day with the sinus crap. Oh, good. Got Bombos right before Ice Palace. Such a shame I don't have a sword. Oh boy, can we stop with the connectors? Alright, that's dead. Well, that would have been nice if I hadn't gotten a crap ton of free bombs. I'll take a free magic. Tier main. That's a crystal, by the way. Do we care about this? Nope. Goodbye, goodbye. I think I do check the other one because of its uncle. Then I can just do it now? It is. What's our stun prize? We'll find out. Just a heart. Thanks, Uncle. Super helpful. Every freaking day with the sinus stuff. Hello, Echo. Thank you for the good luck. I've got all sorts of wonderful stuff already, so this can't be a bad seed. Hope you're doing well. I have 4 connectors plus out of logic pod stuff. That's fun. At least I don't have to go through long wave super bunny. Push the thing. Why no push? Great. Super bunny. That's what he thought this morning, and then Kabuki dropped happened. Oh, like all the wonderful stuff. How could it be bad? Well, I mean, Kabuki drop says, "Have you met all of our keys? There's even more than you think somehow." It's the fun of all the fun of 80 keys, but you gotta find 2 more castle tower keys. Oh, great. Can you please not kill me? He's gonna kill me. Good work, me. If only I had a stun weapon. Well done. All that, well, I mean, that's sore money, I guess, but... yeah, was that really worth it? I mean, probably if you do it efficiently. Or if you die and just get wrecked because hands and controller. The only really rude key was GT big? Oh boy. Was this a you dive GT hoping for its own big key and it turns out to be in some stray... ugh. I don't want that. Pretty much it was an Ice Palace oh wow, Ice Palace big chest and frickin' 80 keys being evil, no way. You know what, I'm taking this because I'm going into Mire. I have to think. I want to say that I had one like that for regular 80 keys. At some point that was GT big key on pet, like it was GT mode for the GT big key and one thing for the last pendant dungeon. And full clear GT basement, like the thing for the pendant dungeon was super free. Full cleared. Full sorry. Every day. It's like I think I have like a low-grade sinus infection still. My sinus situation's always bad, but it's been like especially bad the last few weeks. I think I full cleared the GT basement, got the thing for the pendant dungeon like pretty early, so I full cleared it. There was no book, and the reason I mentioned that there was no book, well, there wasn't. I mean, there was. It was in GT. Was that GT Big Key was on pedestal. So you had to dip it, and you also had no idea that the GT Big Key was there, so you're going to dip it. Or you're going to full clear it. That one was funny. I really should have saved that seed. I think that was prior to, like, knowing folks well enough to give them, you know, saved garbage. That's definitely worth it. I mean, we're not in the realm of that large of in logic checks yet, but this is definitely longer, but given the chance of dying on spike chest. Alright, well, we got what, ice big key out of this? That was pretty trash. Let's be real. Presently have 4 connectors. And out of logic pod stuff, plus these entrances. Huh. Good, 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 good. I'm pretty sure ice was locked by GT too, as is tradition. Wouldn't want it any other way. Huh. One of those connectors in cat goes to the mountain, right? That's what we're gonna go with here. Feel like that's pretty clearly what we're going with. Goodbye, library. I've definitely seen $1 left in a library before. Maybe down on a high shelf, but well, thank goodness we have medallion percent at 22 minutes. Can, I don't know, look at them? Game's greatest challenge, don't get hit by the crab after this. Yeah, I mean, this is just to go to the... pick the right connector and go to the mountain time. That's less than ideal. Well, when I'm in big key go mode, I'm gonna 100% forget about that one. You know what, I'm taking that. Okie doke. Pick a connector, any connector. Let's start with the perspective two-way. Our old friend the dancing lady would not let us down. She's not going to lock us out. She locked us out. Alright, well that plan worked great. Let's try another one. Attempt number 2. There we are. Okay, yeah, that's really not something I want right now. Just throws another connector on the pile. Yikes. Let's just get worked. Alright, well, I already know where Gary back is. So that doesn't do me any good. Thank you, Gary. Oh, great. Just what I always wanted. Spiral Bottom is on Death Mountain. Oh. Mimic Cape this early with hammer? Great. Oh. I do not like that second item in Castle Tower. I am going to go back to TR. Get chomps. Follow TR West. I do not believe it's worth it to try to chase down, oh, he's gonna move before I can get, okay dudes. I don't think it's worth it to chase down the pokey. Sorry. Imagine not having a horrible sinus issue. Couldn't be me. So CT2, there's 2 bunny walk connectors. Wherever Gary is. That was an error. So was that. Ugh. Huge. I think CT2 looks really blaringly obvious. I am not interested in that. Big key to what? That we can bunny walk to. Okay, sure. That's less than great. Well, I've got 1 connector. And then it's bunny walking time. See you later, Clara. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good rest of your day. That's not really where I wanted to go. Oh, no me? Gosh darn it. One of these days. One of these days, I think. It might work out, but... Good done. Yeah, I mean, we got Helper going. He's out here doing stuff. He's making things happen. But this is great. The answer is bunny walking. Not today. Not today. Yeah. Them's the breaks. Not today, indeed. Back up here we go. Oh boy. Yeah, it's fair. You know, they made a good point that it's easy to forget. Buried messages within their phrasing. Helper, don't kill my cat, please. He's just out here walking in the woods, minding his own business, trying to find the logical answer to whatever the hell's happening in this seed. I would prefer if I wasn't in Oko, but you know. Please stop. Can't do that. We continue. Need you guys to move. Oh, that's fun. I don't have a bottle, so that's not helpful. Ask a question. Why aren't deep center fields walls a thing? Do you miss the 440 dead center Tiger Stadium or 434 pro player? It's an interesting query. As to why they're specifically not, I'm not 100% sure. There is like an aim to relative homogeneity in terms of stadiums. This is really unenjoyable. Like I remember the uproar about the Astros, whatever the hell they're calling that field now, formerly Enron, having that hill, which was pretty stupid, to be fair, but it was also unique. I like parks that have unique characteristics, like deep center field. Radish? Oh, okay. Well, you know what, it's definitely a thing. This is probably the answer to something. We are gonna get the items first, though. Tal Rasha's Hill. I remember watching Craig Biggio take an unfortunate fall going up there. I also remember Lance Berkman, who's a horrible bigot, by the way, somehow making a wonderful catch up it. He needed life alert. I mean, you never know when a hill's going to sneak up on you. I mean, you probably should if it's part of your ballpark, but hey, that's great. Okay, so, I mean, it's pretty clear that one of these entrances goes to Light World, and you just re-establish for that. I do wonder if the manner in which stadiums are designed now to be like relatively boring is purely for the purpose of like having people relatively close. And trying to squeeze in seats in most areas. But I like parks that have a unique character to them. It's the decline of athletic. I don't know. I don't know if it's that deep. It could be. Like I'm certainly not discounting it. It's not something that would have immediately come to mind, but it's an interesting point. I usually don't. I feel like a lot of these teams don't really take their team into account when making these stadiums, which is why I forgot that. It's open for some reason. I've only played 10 million of these seats. This was a shower thought. This one's fine. Please don't do that. I need to get through this room at least, please. Hey. Do I go through well, I mean, I actually don't think so now. I don't think I go through these connectors. Because I have access to a whole bunch of places, so... I'm trying to think of like high school parks that I coached at. Because the school that I used to coach at, we used to have like really long or really deep fences compared to most other teams, and then we pulled them in, and the games got way more interesting. But there was nothing special about it. I don't have a glove. A few of the schools with turf fields built it on like campuses, so they had like short porches with a big fence. Well, this is potentially annoying. I think both of the short porches were left field. That doesn't do anything for me. I do think from the roster composition viewpoint that there is definitely a want to make parks as accessible for hitters as possible as they can, especially in the era of the DH, but I mean the full on DH. Oh, and that 1995 Dodgers Expos game that I mentioned watching, great. My sword's in logic. Ken Singleton said, I think that the designated hitter has run its course, and 31 years later, I really don't think he's been proven accurate, but... Yeah, I think if teams were to have a club that was to play games that were some level of extreme, I think they prefer it to be high offense rather than pitching. I miss it too. I think it's necessary. I prefer the game with pitchers hitting, with like everybody having to be a part of the game. But the manner in which pitchers are developed these days, aside from the Shohei Ohtanis of the world, which there are one, but there are a couple lesser versions that hang around, but especially at even on younger levels. Like, that was a big frustration the last year I was coaching, because like every frickin' player, this is probably not a advisable fight. Every like basically every pitcher on our team would show up to pitchers and catchers or tryouts, like throwing like Spencer Strider, and I'm like, well, wish I had sword beams. Oh, this is still gonna suck. I mean, the amount of injuries that I saw on the high school level those last bunch of years were like way more than all of the seasons I coached combined. And I coached for a long frickin' time. Like every year there was like a couple of like 15, 16, 17-year-olds getting labrum surgery. I'm like, I know why I have a torn labrum, but that's because I've thrown 10 gazillion pitches to people over the years, and then pitched like 61 innings in 2019. Because I played on a bad team who had no pitching. And they're like, oh, you can throw strikes. Awesome. Well, that's not how I wanted that to go. Playing a little cavalier here. Is it rude to ask how much older how much older I am than you? I don't know if it's rude. I don't know the answer to the first part of that question, though. Oh, good. Okie doke game. If I've been coaching that long, well, that long is a relative term. I could easily be hyperbolizing. I'm not, but just to have assumed I'm older than you. Yes, I am older than you. By 6 years. Or 7-ish if you already had a birthday this year. And if so, happy birthday. Hey, that's not the one. That isn't the one that you reestablish in and get your stuff. 6, 7, yeah. Ah! Now I have too many options. Yeah, I started coaching when I was in high school. Because I played baseball freshman year and then I got cut a whole bunch of times. So my Babe Ruth coach was taking over a majors team, which is the highest level of Little League in the town I used to coach in, and said, you know, I hope you make the team next year. If you don't, though, you know, would love to I'm gonna run out of pod. Would love to have you help. I'm like, well, you know, I'm interested in that. I hope I make the team too. I didn't, but, you know, them's the breaks. So my first bunch of years I was sort of like a student assistant. But I mean, I had a lot of younger folks come back and coach with me, and when I was in, I don't like this. I'm gonna do it, but I don't like it. When I started coaching, I did a lot more. I guess I had a lot more responsibility given to me. And I was also a little more committed. But I mean, I'm not trying to rag on the kids who came back and helped me with coaching, because I very much appreciate them. They were usually way more busy than I was, and a little bit less baseball obsessed than I was. So I was like the detail-oriented, keep score, but focus on tendencies, steal signs, that kind of stuff. And then that coach's son graduated out, and I helped him coach Babe Ruth for a few years while still doing Little League. I was not given the team that I had been coaching with, which was kind of annoying. They said I was too young. Oh, that's pretty nice. I guess I'm happy I did this. In spite of the lack of bow. Maybe there will be a bow here. But the person who took over was like really not a good coach. He was a nice guy. Lack of Bo Jackson. We all have a lack of Bo Jackson. So, yeah, I continued coaching with him. And again, he wasn't very good. Nice guy, very outgoing. But he kind of thought that because he, you know, liked the Mets and watched a lot of baseball, that he really knew baseball. And that wasn't the case. So eventually the team kind of like underachieved long enough that, why did I do that? That he kind of like relented and just let me take over doing stuff. And then all of a sudden we started winning a lot. He eventually stepped aside, and then I took over. I was out of Little League for a year. I started coaching some high school. It really wasn't enjoyable. It was at the school I graduated from, and then the school I later went back to coach. Fundamentals are very important, but also like understanding who the heck should be playing certain positions and stuff like that. Also, I had no skin in the game. I didn't have a kid on the team, so it's way easier to make decisions baked in a heavier level of objectivity. It's still subjective, you're still making a choice, but when you don't care if your son who can't pitches or not, then it's a lot easier. Yeah, I got a lot of praise over the years for coaching the way I did without having a kid, and I also got scorn from a lot of pissy dads who wanted to favor their kids. I guess pissy dads as coaches. I had plenty of pissy moms too. I will be back for that. Yeah, but have you considered that I'm just being really unfair to little Billy? I mean, I feel like that should be highly considered. I clearly have something against him because, you know, he's not being given the spot in the lineup he wants. I really hate this spot for connectors. I'm not bothering with this. That's a bonk. He should be batting third. I mean, he should be batting first, second, and third. One of the years I had an all-star team get to sectionals, we played a team that had way more talent. Like, we were good, obviously. We didn't get that far, you know, by sucking, but they were really, really good. And we almost upset them because their shortstop was the coach's son. And he was like, this is a team that won their freaking district. They wound up winning the sectional because of the amount of talent they had. And they almost lost it because the coach batted his son third and played him at short, and he was a strikeout and error machine. And I remember being in these games. Nice flute. I remember being in these games and being like, what the hell? Why the hell is this kid there? It's like the greatest gift to our team. Their lineup has like almost no holes except for their number 3 batter, who sucks. I mean, on town teams, it's, you know, house league, it's super common. His name was Brian, and that kid's name was Brian, I remember. And he cried one time because he swung at it. Like, again, this is sectionals. This is frickin' sectionals. Like, these teams are nasty. Oh, good. And he got hit by a pitch while swinging at it. There's a fastball in, and he swung at it, and it hit him in the gut, and he started sobbing. I mean, I felt bad for the pain, but it was like one of those, sure. Oh, it was called a strike. I had to argue it. It was called a hit by pitch at first by the plate umpire, and then I went out and argued it, and I'm like, can you please confer with the rest of the umpires, maybe some who know the rules? And then they did, and then they got the call correct. Which is a big day. Yeah, but I can still see in my mind's eye that kid crying about it was a fastball firmly in the gut, which doesn't seem ideal. I don't think I'd really want that. It's actually pretty remarkable that he took it that square. That's how bad the pitch was. It was a fastball literally coming at him. Anyway, let's see. I think we won, how many? Like, my house team made it to, oh, wow. Wow, that's where it is, eh? Alright. That was our re-established point to get our our pearl access. Cute. Item cave here. I think we made it to our championship 5 straight years, won it twice. But high school I don't know. High school coaching was weird. I really did not like. What the heck was that controller? I really did not like a lot of aspects of it. It reminded me too much of being in school again and being like in an environment with the asshole jocks. You do. My main issue toward the end, which I have mentioned quite a few times, is that the level of support that existed from administration was pretty appalling by the end. You refuse to coach? I mean, it's totally understandable. I almost forgot this. Like, I remember when I first started going out with my partner, they said that they were reticent. Like, I'm not ashamed to mention this because I don't think it's shameful. Like, we met online. Just the most normal cis couple you could ever find. Smile. And I remember my partner was getting into illustration teaching, which they liked and didn't like. I remember them asking, like, what is my like pedagogy? And I'm like, well, I'm not really super familiar with that term. But oh, okay, so coaching philosophy, that makes sense. And I said, well, that's a fair question, because what were my motivations when I got into it? Well, I freaking loved baseball. I wanted to be involved, and I had a lot of subpar coaches when I was younger, and it feels bad to say that because like a lot of them were terrific people. They just weren't great at coaching baseball, which is fine and fair. So I tried to do better, but like when I was coaching teams, it was usually mostly gained on like, or trained, I guess is the better word, around you know, promoting being part of a team. And I always told kids like the only this is not yet beatable. You know, the two things within your control, gross, are your attitude and your effort. And if you give your attitude great, you know, if you give a full effort and you treat your teammates with regard and all that, then, you know, there will be playing time for everybody. I mean, there's, you know, Little League there will be, but high school too. Like, yes, varsity's more serious, but particularly like in games that were somewhat lopsided, I would find ways to get kids in if they were kids who like showed up to practice every day and worked their butt off. And weird thing, like it didn't, I mean, to me it didn't feel like that was all that revelatory, but going through it, especially the last bunch of years, it's like that philosophy, that focus on team was gone. It was gone, and that in the area in which I lived, and most of the other coaches in our league, when I would talk to them, said the same thing. Like all of the privatization, focus on college, and all this stuff, it was gone, and it made it really unenjoyable. And then when you have abusive parents and administration who backs said abusive parents or just doesn't do anything, which, I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other, then it's like, well, why am I doing this? You know, we're not gonna get to do the good stuff, the stuff that I enjoy. So, like, seriously, why? And then everything else happened in my life, and I was like, well, I'm actually enjoying... that's a long, complicated trans story. It's not that long. It's actually neither long nor complicated. That's wholly inaccurate. I was like, well, maybe there's stuff better to be doing with life than coaching at this school with these crappy people who... You know, no matter how much I try to, like, help folks, it's pretty much deemed irrelevant. So I don't know. I have no idea where the hell coaching fits going forward. Does it fit going forward? I don't know. I also have to approach the world in a different way, and that's definitely a bit scary. But like the good times that we had, and I had a ton of great experiences coaching, were great. You have to approach with I agree. Excited for pendant. Yeah, but a thing that like really actually made me feel pretty good was a few months ago I posted something to come out to basically everybody for what is sort of my old life. I mean, I guess it still exists, but I kind of dropped off the radar for a year plus for pointed, necessary reasons, and didn't know what the hell to do with it otherwise. But it's like, do I want to just like forget all these people? And my answer was no. I was really hoping that would be pod 6. So I just threw something up on the internet. Like half the message was talking about coaching and basically all the stuff that I just mentioned about all the awfulness that happened at the school. I mean, because I stepped down pretty abruptly. We were already making plans for the following season, but it was just like, yeah, I kind of wanted to not be here for several years, and now I have a reason. But also like talking about the positive things and, you know, what I remember from those older teams that I coached. And I have a frickin' desk full of trophies, which is not to brag, it's just to say that I had a lot of teams that did very well. I was fortunate to coach a ton of great players. And I don't think about, you know, the results. Fake boots remain fake. Oh, I can do ice too. I forgot about ice. Well, we're in the area, so. And then the second part was about trans and being like, alright, have fun with this, folks. You can enjoy it. Have a good time. You know, figure out if you want to be a person who cares enough to hang around. That's pretty obnoxious. So, you know, I got a lot of yeah, there was, and it was really nice to see and hear from a lot of, and like my instinct in my brain is always initially to say, heard from a bunch of kids that I coach, but I mean they're not kids, and that's a whole big thing with coaching. My coaching philosophy and life philosophy is that like people are people, and like those kids were not cogs in a baseball playing machine. They were people, and you treat them like you would anybody else, you know. Yes, there's a position of authority that comes with coaching, but I don't believe that I'm inherently better than anybody else. And, you know, those folks eventually grow up. But like some of my best friends are people that I coached when I was very young. Like, we're not that far off in age. So, I mean, that's a long way to say that I heard from a good amount of those folks who were both supportive of me. Oh. Can we not? Personally, but also like, yeah, we were like, the message about the experience playing baseball like really resonated. Like, I was talking to, you know, I happened to be catching up with this friend recently, and we were talking about some silly running joke that we had on team back in the day, and how much that made us laugh. And it's like, I'm super happy to hear that. I think back to the running jokes and the good conversations and all of that jazz. And yeah, like the baseball part's great too. I love baseball. Wouldn't be talking about all this if I didn't. At the end of the day, it's not what ultimately matters. You know, there's a lot of coaches who are seemingly more than okay with like being somebody who, if they're encountered by a former player years later, like somebody that you know, the kid would rather, person would rather cross the street to avoid engagement rather than like catch up and say hi. So that meant a lot. As far as I know, there's only, I mean, I think it's a safe guess that there's more than one person who is kind of an asshole about it, but I've only personally heard about, not from, but about one person who was an asshole about me coming out. And he's somebody that we widely understood to be an asshole for a really long time, so it's like no no worries on that end. It's somebody who, when he was actually on the frickin' adult league team. Like, I coached against him. Typical, like, I played at some tiny ass college in the 1980s, so I'm a baseball expert. He's just a prick. And then I played with him on the adult league team, and he was like, yeah, he played D3. I know, D3, right? It's huge. There's so many of them who are like going, you know, if he hadn't had that knee injury or whatever. He was still playing in the adult league. Well, he still is. My friend is now running the team that I used to play on / got defaulted into coaching for a few years after my labrum died. And he's 100% delusional about like his ability. It's like, I should still be leading off. It's like, dude, you had arthroscopic knee surgery and you limp everywhere. And also there's a cadre of 20-somethings, including your son, who is a significantly better athlete. Like, the team is stacked. Hit 8th and be happy. Yeah, I guess he started pulling some transphobic thing at my friend and his father own a sporting goods store. I guess he started pulling some transphobic crap and they just like shut it down, which is cool. He does get on base occasionally. Like, if he actually got on base a crap ton, I would I would say, you know what? You keep him at the top of the order, regardless of how slow he is. But he's very much way worse than the vast majority of the people on the team now. Maybe back in the 1980s he was leadoff hitter caliber. I don't really need that. Also, I got mitts in here. That's pretty something. Well, there goes that plan. If there are other assholes, they've kept it to themselves. I mean, there probably are, because there's a lot of assholes. Now we've got Smith crap. Oh, I forgot to ask, are you playing in League? I haven't not really been paying attention, as is tradition. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. What the hell are you? Swamp Big Key. Is it worth it to check this map? Crystal. Pendant, crystal. Is that knowledge of all of them? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okie doke. So, no rush to go back to Easter, no rush to go there. Oh. I mean, that's not horrible. Especially with Mitts and Mirror. Sit down. That didn't do much for me. I'm gonna knock out 45 too before going back for Smith. I do Smith, Pegs. Entrances are really not that exciting. But I still need the dam though, so. So there does exist value there, so what the hell do I need? Cool. I need Desert Big Key, Flippers, Dam. Alright, well that's one of them. Oh, there's a big key out on frickin' Azor Ledge. Ugh. Are we not following this as a result? That's beatable right now. Cute. Well, that's pretty easy actually. That's really pretty good. That's very fortuitous, in fact. Alright, so I don't need that stuff. I need to find the dam. I need the Thieves' Big Key, which could be on Zora Ledge. I need Samaria and Fire Rod. And I need to not walk into that guy, but I did, so. Alright, so that's down. What are you? Well, sure. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 big keys out there. Kinda think that I should prioritize getting that Zora Big Key. Maybe. Brilliant. Because if this is Thieves, then I would obviously just go do Thieves next. I'm probably actually save and quit to Gary. I'm gonna save and quit to Gary no matter what. Do those locations on the mountain, but... Ugh, the only desert entrance I've seen is up on Hyrule Castle. We're gonna run into another one almost surely, but... Thieves! Oh, it is. Cool. Hi, they kicked you way out of town, dude. I don't care about that. Save and quit to Gary Carter. Gary Carter was in the game I was watching last night. It was his second to last season. He was catching for the Dodgers because Mike Scioscia got hurt. I don't need that. Freaking 91 Mets. What a wasted opportunity. Those pitching staffs were so damn good. It's like, well, we let Darryl Strawberry walk in free agency. Let's bring back the corpse of Hubie Brooks. Fans will love that. It's like, well, I mean, no, but... Don't worry though, we've signed a spark plug for our offense. Vince Coleman. Alright, sure. Better than Gary Coleman? Marginally. Vince Coleman's Mets tenure was sad. But it also wasn't really understood at the time that Vince Coleman was massively overrated. He was a legit great base stealer. He was exceptionally mediocre at getting on base to steal said bases. And he was also not a good defensive outfielder. I was thinking to that team though when I was watching the game, like, yeah, the Mets also really punted defense super hard, which is really funny. Like, those championship teams, their pitching staff was stacked. You'd think it'd be like, hey, let's get an elite defense and just be unstoppable. Couple bats who can also play D. I mean, Hernandez, Strawberry, Carter fit that bill, but... I mean, Hojo was a Hojo. I freaking love Hojo, but he is a horrible defensive player. He's really not enjoyable to watch. Their shortstop position was a rotating door because Kevin Elster blew his shoulder out. Rafael Santana couldn't hit before that. That's really unfortunate. Quite possibly Fire Rod from Go. Yeah, like Mets shortstops. I remember, I think I talked about it this when I talked about Mark Lemke, but like Dinah Augen. Na ja, es ist Übergelb. The Mets shortstops in the 90s were not good. Their best shortstop season was Ray Ordonez 99, because that's the one year in which he like kind of ish hit not horribly. That was another thing to like look back on years later and be like, wow, Ray Ordonez was really really bad at hitting. Like I knew he was bad, but no, he was special bad. He was a horrible tease every spring training too. He was just as awful as Cesar as Turris. His Turris was better somehow. Pretty sure. His Turris's bad years were similar to I don't really care what the green pendant is, to be honest. His Turris in his prime was a better hitter. Ordonez was a better defensive player. Like, he was amazing. But part of the reason why I wish that, I think I mentioned this previously, that I wish that the baseball cube had kept its full array of stuff is they used to have spring training stats. And I really wanted to look back and see Ray Ordonez's spring training stats, because my brain tells me that like every year he would like pop some home runs and the announcers would be like, this is the year in which he really figures it out. And it's like, all right, sure. And then he hits, you know, 210 with a 270 on base percentage and gets like 15 on extra base hits for the season. It's like, he did a few times. I'm pretty sure he had a few years in which he had none. I don't really love that, but I'll follow it. I think I'm just going to exhaust connectors. As we find the dam, we do swamp. I don't want that. We're not exhausting that connector. It's already exhausted. I mean, spring training stats can be a hilarious mirage too. That's absolutely garbage. I didn't see Belanger play. I think that's unfair. I mean, it's just, as in, it's not unfair to ask. It's just, I feel like any analysis I would give was not based on observation. Belanger was clearly, like, an absurdly good defensive player. I mean, I think Belanger... Yeah, I'm trying to, like, not let offense leak into the calculus, but he was a significantly better offensive player. Where's the damn game? Ew. Could that actually help me in any way? The answer is no. It could eliminate an entrance. But connectors don't actually help me anymore. Orioles' left side of the infield was elite defensively. Yeah. I think... Oh, I should have... Well, that's fine. We'll open this first. I always forget to mirror and check that one at the top of Paradox. No, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be doing Light World ones first anyway. Yeah, like Baseball Reference War is interesting to me when it comes to teams like the Orioles because they give a huge amount of the credit for the pitchers being stellar to the defense, which is accurate, but that's why I'm wary to ascribe such heavy weights. Fire Rod. It's not a Fire Rod. This is the last good item cave. Trying to find a dam and instead I'm just chasing item. Oh, I forgot all about Paradox. Never mind. I forgot about Paradox because that's listed in a different section. Oops. I don't want that. I want one thing, game. Oh no, boots I guess could be another thing I would like. Because I might need actual boots. Yeah, both of the main pitching war resources are pretty interesting in the ways that they are similar and the ways that they are different. I'm actually going to check dam item first, because if it's Fire Rod, I don't. Well, you know what? I'm picking that up. I don't know that I really wanted boots there. We skip left side for the moment and then try to figure out what the hell to do when nothing is in here. You've got climbers in GT, that feels bad. Guy under the bridge, awful shovel, catfish, beating Eastern, skull big chest. Some things in TR. I don't want that. Pedestal is a thing, assuming I can find Skullwoods. Which I also don't want. got the desert stuff. Memes. Memes. I have Saha. Let's see. Item caves left. I did that. Oops. I have Sick Kid who's up in No Man's Land. I haven't seen Spike Cave. I haven't seen Agina. And I haven't seen Spiral Cave. Climbers plus tile room is 6, but it also takes up a lot of time. Fire Rock. That's a Fire Rock. Whoops. Good dash lines there. This is when it gets fun. Oh, I forgot to do left side swamp. Go back in for that. I mean, I could just go do that. My bad. I was like, I full cleared this. You didn't, silly. I should do that after this. I have 3 things in desert. I could have considered that too. What are you? Sure. Yeah, you can't hook shot to a dead rock, silly. Oh, pedestal's not a thing. That's right, pedestal won't be a thing. So that's good at least. It might be worth it to just keep going all the way to the front here. I'll still have a small key. If Fire Rod is here in the front though, then I won't be able to go to TR East too. Oh, it is. Oh, alright. I have to go to TR back. Cute story game. I think. Well, I could be wrong actually. Would I have had to burn? Yes, I would have had to burn a key. So yeah, then no, this is the right play. Ganon is in at the Smiths. TR main is somewhere. Oh, it's up at the log. That's fine. Barring a screw up, it should be sub 150. Do, 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 do. Oh my gosh, imagine not being muted. Thank you for the GG's, a Heaven More guy. I was muted because I don't pay attention to things. So, yeah, second place, 2 minutes, 12 seconds behind Tito's, which is pretty good because he's very good at crosskeys. I will take second place, for sure. Look, pressing a button and remembering to repress it to unmute is very difficult. Left side swamp only had compasses? Well, it's very good that I forgot about it then. Because I am very good at forgetting things. It was literally not until I was doing those other things and I'm looking at the map and being like, why is there still stuff in swamp? Oh. Crap. Crap. That's not good. I absolutely should have done that and got lucky that my long-term head injury bailed me out. Thanks, concussions. We're gonna raid Shin, because Shin looks at race rooms. Shin is finishing this up. So, oh, I'll gladly take second. The magic sack? Is that a euphemism? That sounds like something inappropriate. Game. I have no interest in said sack. You keep it there. Oh, Shin's channel is intended for mature audiences. I have to go for a walk after this because it's actually very nice out. My computer says tomorrow's high to break record. That's probably not going to screw up the plant life around here. Surely not. We got it. I mean, this still might be more than 174. It's going to be close. Anyway, thank you for the sub, Ahab, and for talking about center field walls and player defense and pitching and injuries and stuff. Thank you for the GGs, more guy. Thank you, Clara and Echo, for hanging out. Less than 174. Life is sad. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Shin. Hopefully he finishes very soon. Hope everyone has a great day. Talk to you later.